What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. If you like my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. On this channel, we speak about a little bit of everything from crystals to Kundalini awakening. So the level of conversation varies, yeah? But today I want to speak to you about an important topic of the chosen in the workplace. So I recently decided, probably about a year ago, that I wanted to go out into the workplace and see if I still had what it took to be a part of this community, maybe make little extra money, stay occupied. For those of you who don't know, I'm retired from the military, and so I hadn't worked since 2018. So I decided that I would go out into the workforce and see what it was all about. Yeah. So I am a social worker by trade, right? I have a master's in social work. This is a really hard job. I mean, it's a hard job. You know, social worker, you really have to have a heart for it. I refer to the social worker as the urban shaman. And they are urban shamans because they are assisting people along their journey. It didn't work for me because there was so much red tape in actually helping people. You know, there was always these walls or these things you couldn't do in order to really, truly help people. So I found out very quickly that that wasn't for me. But I decided to step back into it for a minute just to see. I went into it and y'all, through the whole interview process, everything, it was strenuous. I was there for practically 3 days maybe. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go home and do some yoga. I'm going to let y'all have it. Right. And I know that's crazy work. Right. But I just couldn't do it. They gave me a whole list of all these issues that these people had. They gave me like maybe 12 cases on my first day. Right. And so I'm looking over the cases and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so, you know, in social work, you're in tune with from the boots on ground issues. And there was a part of me that was really good at that at one point. But as you're good where you're at, is what I'm saying. So whatever you're going through, wherever you're at that time, your level of self-healing, you can go work in that, because what you're doing, you're simultaneously doing things. You're assisting the community and you're also healing yourself, right? Whether or not we want to admit that or not. And so you're good where you're at. And so I've quickly found out that I'm just not there anymore. You know, it's not that I don't have the heart or that I don't have the empathy for people where their trauma, meeting people where they're at with their trauma, boots on ground in the midst of their trauma. It's not that I don't have empathy for that. It's just not the level of social work that I want to be at. I don't want to be in any level of social work, to be honest. So social worker is the urban shaman, and they do play a vital role in the community. However, it's just not for me. And so within 3 days into the workforce, I was on my way home. I was just like, I can't do it. Some of the things that I experienced in that particular setting, I've tried twice. Some of the things that I've experienced in that particular setting is that I would just simply walk up to people. Now, what we're speaking about are the chosen ones, the ones who have a calling on their life, trying to go back into the workforce and do muggle stuff, do normal people things. It just does not work. And so I'm dressed nicely. I'm in there. I'm just being as nice as I possibly can. And I walk up to someone and I just say, hey, how are you? Or do I know you? And they just shrink. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm just asking you, do I know you from someplace? You know what I mean? It's just weird. And so what it is, right? As a chosen one who has done the work, your energy is just expanded around you 360 degrees. You can't see it, but other people can, and they can feel it. And they don't know what it is they see in you, but whatever it is, it makes them shrink. And it's just so annoying because the chosen one is going in there with a pure heart, with pure intentions, trying to make friends. If you're chosen in the workplace, you are not going to make friends. Everyone is intimidated by you. And this is not to say that we are so powerful or we are so big or we're boasting or bragging. It's just facts. It's just facts. From the boss down to the lowest person, they're going to be intimidated by you in some way. It's because they see something in you that you don't see in yourself, and it intimidates them. So that lasted about 3 days. And then I quickly said, well, no, this isn't going to work for me. And then I got back home again and I started doing my normal routine again. But then this whole thing, a job kept coming up within my psyche. And I was like, why does this keep coming up? Maybe there's something that I need to learn out there. Maybe there's a lesson. Maybe there's something out there that's waiting on me that I need to figure out. And so I gave it another try. And so this time I decided maybe if I go to what society, I don't perceive it as this, not at all, but what society perceives to be an invisible job. You know, the jobs that nobody, that 85 to 90% of people walk by these people. They don't say anything. They don't even recognize them. They just ignore them. They just keep going because they don't even see them, right? And so I applied for a job as a custodian. I thought, well, this job, I can just be by myself. I'm not really bothering people. I won't be seen. And I have 8 planets in Virgo. So surely I have to be good at cleaning, right? And so I took on this job and I enjoyed it. I enjoy it actually. But the thing is that you're not invisible. Now people will ignore you and act like they don't see you, but they're sending energy your way, right? And so let's go over some of the things that the chosen may experience in the workforce. Yeah, because everybody has a different job, and so everybody's not, going to the extremes as I would, going from a social work position to a janitorial position to, like, I would do anything just to go ahead and get out there and be in the workforce, because I kept getting this get a job in my psyche, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. Now remember, I'm retired military, so I don't necessarily, it's not like I'm real pressed, right? Of course, everything helps, but it's not like I'm real pressed to get a job. Now, I do know that there are people out there who need their jobs, chosen ones who need their jobs. So what we're going to speak about today is how to maneuver around these people within the workforce who something in their spirit knows that you are one of the chosen, and they're determined to give you a hard time. I know that you need your job. I'm not encouraging you to quit, but at the end of the day, the chosen, these 3D jobs are not going to work for us. Yeah, we're going to have to find something else. But I do understand, or I do understand, that there are people who need their jobs, and that this is not a laughing matter for them. And it's not a laughing matter for me. It's quite disturbing, to be honest. So one of the first things that the chosen will do once they go into the 3D workplace is they're immediately going to feel misaligned. They're going to immediately feel that something is off, that they're not supposed to be there. But because we are professionals and we know how to carry ourselves to a certain degree, then we're going to go ahead and play the role for a period of time. But you're immediately going to feel misaligned. You just don't fit in, no matter how small you try to make yourself. No matter how small you try to make yourself, no matter how much you try to hide, no matter how much you try to get a job that's like, you don't have to deal with people, you can deal with things. And so you can just focus on what you got going on, and you don't have to be disturbed by anybody. You don't have to be micromanaged or anything like that. Well, they're still going to see you. Okay. And even though they don't, they act like they don't see you, you feel their energy. They're always some kind of way interacting with your energy. They find a way to interact with your energy. In spite of that, you still feel isolated, because they will try to make you feel unseen, right? And no matter how good of a job you do, if you're one of these people that need accolades or hey, or attaboys or good job today, if you're one of the chosen, and you're at that, you're still mixed up in that level where you need attaboys. Most chosen don't, because at this point we've attaboyed ourselves. We don't need other people to come and tell us what a great job we're doing. But if we decide to step into a job, we're going to do the best job. Yeah. But don't expect any accolades or awards or, hey, you're doing so great. Don't expect any of that, because as a chosen, you're not going to get it. Matter of fact, they're looking for something to set you up with, to make you look bad. So they feel your energy as soon as you walk in the door. Yeah. And so working in one of these jobs as the chosen, depending, I can only speak for myself, but it's like walking into the building and everybody in the building is walking around naked. It's like everybody's naked. It's like you see through all of the illusions. You know what I mean? You see the person that's working to try to get the boss's job. You see the person who wants to make everybody else look bad so that they look good. You see who's sleeping with one another. You see the married man who's sleeping with the cook or whatever. You're able to see the person that's addicted to porn. That they look at people as masturbating devices instead of looking at people as human beings. You see the child molesters, and the deal is with that, whether you know it or not, they know when they've been seen. They can tell when they've been seen. And so it makes them uneasy. It's like the chosen just pulls the shadow out of people just by existing. Just by existing, we pull the shadow out of people. It's like their shadow is exposed, and we can see it. You don't have to say anything. You just look at them. You just glance at them and turn your head, go on about your business, do whatever you do. I'm just mopping the floor, honey. I don't care about your whatever you got going on. But I can't help but see it, right? And they can tell when they've been seen. And people who have dark shadow, we all have shadows, but people who are they think they can't be seen, they feel it when they are seen. And so that causes you to be treated some type of way. You can see the spirits in people. Yeah, you can see the spirits on them. The other day, I looked at this young girl. I just happened to look up, and she turned her head, and she looked like a demon. Like, just for a split second, there was this demonic thing that's on her. Yeah. And then when she turned her head back again, then she was smiling. She looked normal. But I caught it with my spiritual eye. I caught it. I was like, ooh, yeah. And so even if these people don't know why they don't like you, right? It's because their spirit and your spirit knows the truth. Yeah. And this is what these 3D people don't realize, is that, yeah, we come in these avatars, and we can dress these avatars up. We can do whatever. We can walk around like we're just, successful and smart and intelligent, and we have all of our stuff together. We can dress up this avatar to look like that. But the spirit is a total different entity. This is just the avatar. And so our spirits never sleep. They're 24 hours a day. What we carry within us is 24 hours a day. It's this flesh, it's this avatar that needs to sleep, that needs to eat. The spirit doesn't. And so their spirit recognizes your spirit. And their spirit knows that your spirit can see them. And it makes them uncomfortable. And so the avatar gets uncomfortable. I don't like her. I don't like him. There's just something about them I don't like. Well, it's the fact that they can be seen, and people don't like to be seen. They don't like to be seen. With the chosen, we do our work. If someone points out something, hey, you're this or you're that, or you need to work on this, we're like, oh, we take note of that. And we actually analyze ourselves. We actually go do some shadow work and say, okay, does this apply to me or not? And if it applies to you, you immediately get back to work. And if it doesn't, you say, okay, I'll keep that note in the back of my head. I'll watch myself. I'll catch myself in the act, because that's what part of shadow work is you're catching yourself in the act. Well, these people are never trying to catch themselves in the act. They're not doing any shadow work. They're not doing any inner child work. They're there in this 3D job. Everybody wants accolades. Everybody wants attaboys. Everybody wants the other person's position. Everybody wants the boss for them to be their favorite. All this crazy stuff. Chosen, we don't care. We just want to do our job, get our little pennies, because I'm not going to go there, because I don't want to because a job is a job and all jobs are honorable. But we want to go there, get our money, and we want to go home. We don't want to be bothered with you. Trust me when I tell you, we don't want to see you. but it's just so obvious. I mean, a blind man could see it. But anyways, moving on. And so because you can see them, it makes them uncomfortable. And then they start having this little passive aggressive behavior. Yeah, this little passive aggressive behavior. Things like, oh, there was a meeting that the chosen just didn't get told about, or there was an inspection and there's a list of things to correct on the inspection, but the chosen didn't get that list. And so then later on they get called in the office and say, hey, well, you need to do this. And I'm like, well, I've been here for I don't know how many weeks, and why is somebody just now telling me this? I've been out of regulation for a minute and not knowing it, right? And something about it is that one thing about the chosen, when you're on the job and you get an intuition to ask a question or follow up on something, but you might say, well, that's not my place, I should wait for them to come to me. Don't do it. Because if you're getting an intuition, a download or something like that, you want to go to the supervisor and say, hey, excuse me, may I speak with you for a minute? And they're going to get intimidated because you're not going in there like, yes, sir, boss, may I have a conversation with you? You're going in there like an adult and you're saying, may we have a conversation, or can I ask a question? And so you go in respectful, but your energy is going to make it look, they're going to be intimidated by your energy regardless. You're just going to have to work with that. And so you go in there, and if you get a download, like maybe I should ask for a checklist just in case there's an inspection to make sure that I am in alignment. Don't ignore that thought, because that's spirit saying, yeah, go do this or that. And so you go there and you ask, and that way you make sure you're in alignment. Because a lot of times they won't tell you, excuse me, I just washed my hair and it's dripping. A lot of times they won't tell you. They'll just set you up for failure. And so there's a lot of passive aggressive behavior. They're watching you. They're watching you so they can report you. They're watching you so they're watching you so you can make mistakes. And so you wanna make sure you do everything by the book. Yeah. And that alone is stressful, that you have to stay on top of things and make sure you do everything perfectly so that they don't write you up or try to build a case against you, and so that they can eventually fire you. They're going to find a way to do it, because if you're chosen, they are not comfortable with you around them. Either you are going to get fired or you're going to walk out. Yeah. But in the meantime, that you want to stay there and keep that position for whatever reason you're keeping it for, you want to stay on top of it. You know what I mean? Which also makes the job more stressful, because now not only are you trying to perfect your position, but you are trying to. But now you're not allowed to make any mistakes. Yeah, because someone's always watching you. It could be the person at the front desk. It could be the person back there cooking. It can be the coach in the gym or whatever. They're always watching you. They will try you. The men in the workplace will try you. They will be disrespectful. Like sometimes they can be disrespectful, and the women too, because there's these women out here. This spirit is not just, it doesn't apply to gender. Yeah. So if you're a male, you want to watch these women. They'll try to set you up, coming on to you, doing little stuff to try to persuade you to flirt with them or make a move so they can go back and say that you sexually harassed them. And some of these men will literally sexually harass you. They'll do stuff like you're bending over to pick something up. They'll, make a little comment like that. And because you're chosen, you hear them, you know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. But they do it in a way that you can't make a complaint. I wouldn't make a complaint on you anyways. Too much of my energy. Yeah. Too much of my energy. I'm going to expose you just by looking at you. Just by looking at you, I'm going to expose you. And you're going to know that you've been seen. That makes them very uncomfortable. So you want to follow up if you have any thoughts of something that needs to be done. Like maybe I should go recheck that bathroom, or maybe I should go recheck this, or maybe I should ask this question. Go ahead and do it, because sometimes we're getting downloads from higher to double check and to follow up on ourselves. I've learned this the hard way, because later on what happens is that you're like, something will happen and you're like, oh man, I knew I should have asked that question. And so listen to spirit and listen to the downloads you're getting, and follow up on that when you're in the 3D workplace as the chosen. As the chosen too, you will experience toxic leadership. Yeah, you'll experience toxic leadership. For example, the assistant director may be toxic, and then they do something toxic to you, and then they go and they go back to the boss and they switch it up. And so then the big director comes to you and says, "I need you to do blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Okay, but." I'm wondering why the big director's coming to me. It's because the assistant director is being toxic towards the chosen, but then going back to the big boss and pouring salt on your name. Yeah. And so you got to be able to see these behaviors, and you got to stay. You got to dot your I's and cross your T's. It's already stressful being in a 3D job. It's not worth the money that they give you. But I know that some of us have to be there. And so you want to make sure. So I'm giving you some tips on how to make sure you keep your job as long as possible, and keep your cash flow flowing towards you, because as the chosen, money flows to us. It flows to us from all directions. Yeah. It's just a lot of us, we haven't tapped into our gifts yet. We haven't tapped into our confidence enough to open our own businesses and stuff. And we have immediate bills right now, children that we're raising, that we need to work in this 3D place. But remember, as the chosen, you are there to learn lessons. Yeah. The job will teach you things that you're going to need when you step into your calling. It's going to teach you boundaries, how to set solid boundaries with respect and dignity. Yeah, you're going to need that when you step into your calling, what you've actually come back to do. Because believe it or not, in this spiritual realm, in these spiritual streets, we still have to set boundaries, because everybody who claims to be something, they're not. It's a lot of sick people out here. And so when you start working in your healing business, or your own cleaning business, or whatever it is you're doing to assist people in their healing, you still have to set solid boundaries, because everybody's not going to be where you're at. So you're there in that workplace. It's preparing you for what you have to do in the future. Yeah, that's how you want to look at it. And so you're learning boundaries, you're learning patience, you're learning resilience, how to stick to something and not quit, and you're learning people skills. Yeah, because you'll need all those skills when you open your own business. You'll need all those skills when you start working with people in their healing. You're going to need those skills, And so look at your 3D job as a college. It's a college, because although everybody else is there for the money, and you're also getting your funds, no doubt, but you're also there. Spirit is also there to teach you lessons that you're going to need, vital skills that you're going to need when you step out into your own spiritual practice. Yeah. So look at it like that. And so let me give you some pointers on how to work your magic when you're around these muggles, when you're around these backwards walking giraffes. So what you're going to do is these backwards walking penguins. What you're going to do is you're going to control the energy in the room. Yeah, you can control the energy in the room. You can pull your energy in close to you. It doesn't matter. They're still going to see you. Trust me, I've tried it. You want to wear your protective crystals. You want to wear your, maybe carry a little bag of salt in your pocket. Whatever you're going to do to protect your energy. Do your meditations before you go into work so that your auric field is solid. There's no holes that anybody can penetrate. When you meditate, what you're doing is you're taking your energy, your kundalini, up from the root chakra to the crown chakra, and you're bringing it back out around your body, and you're making sure that your auric field is solid, that there's no leakages, that there's no holes. You get up and you get into an argument with your husband, or you're fussing at your children, blah, blah, blah. These are holes in your auric field. You want to make sure it's solid when you go to work. So when they start sending that energy towards you, it bounces off of you. 360 degrees bounces off of you. Yeah. You see them, but they're not affecting you. If somebody walks up close to you, they walk behind you trying to get in your energy, or they walk in front of you and they're doing it in a passive aggressive way, you push your energy out. You push it out, and it kind of just engulfs them. It irritates the hell out of them. It's a great tactic, yeah. And so you're using this energy to you're controlling the room. You're doing your job. You're heading out straight forward. You're minding your business, but at the same time, because you were chosen, you are a magician. That needs to be repeated. You are a magician. And how you use your magic is you are protecting yourself. Yeah, you're protecting yourself. If you would like some pointers on that, then hey, hit me up, drop something down in the comments, and we can have a conversation. I'm not going to give you all the pointers here on this YouTube, because my magic is my magic. But you have the ability to control the energy in the room as the chosen. Yeah. They have their so-called magic as well, where they are being passive aggressive and doing things to cause offense and make you feel isolated and make you feel like you're in the way and blah, blah, blah. But the real chosen, the true chosen, that stuff bounces off us. This is like water on a duck's back. Yeah. And have you ever seen ducks when they get into it? Ducks are floating in the water, and then all of a sudden there's a tussle, there's a hustle, there's a bustle. They're arguing over turf or whatever it is. They're arguing over two males arguing over a female, and then once they get finished, they float in different directions. They shake off their feathers, and it's almost like nothing has ever happened. That's the chosen. We bounce into them and we're back over here, as if nothing ever happened. They're still over there brooding or whatever the case may be. But the chosen is heading on straight forward for us. Our energy is valuable. It's a valuable resource, and we don't give it to everyone. Yeah. And they hate that. They hate when you do that. So when you're in your workplace, you control your energy. You control the energy around you. Don't let anybody affect you. It's heading on straight forward. You are the magician. Yeah. These 3D jobs, they open up opportunities for us. Yeah. You are going to be miserable there. You are going to be isolated. You are going to be outcast. You are going to be picked on. You are going to be treated any kind of way, like you have been your whole life. At this point, you've mastered it. This is just a different space, a different place. At this point, you've mastered the narcs. Yeah, you have to master those narcissists. As an empath, as a super empath, you got to master those narcs. Baby, we winning out here, okay? And if you're not, follow my channel. I'm going to get you there. We are winning against these narcissists. Okay, and so your 3D job is opening opportunities for you. Like I said, the job is teaching you the boundaries, the patience, the resilience, the people skills. It's opening opportunities for you. So while you're there, you're in your creative energy. You're in your creative energy. If they hired you for that job, that means there's a need, regardless of what it is. And so if you're in there cooking and they're treating you badly, there's a need. And so you can start your own cooking business. You can start your own cleaning business. You can start your own organizing records and things of that sort. You can start your own child care center. Whatever it is, you can do that. And you can do that with a holistic point of view. Holistically. Because if they hired you, that means there's a need for you. That means there's a need for you outside of that job. So while you're working that job, opening up opportunities for you, start your little business on the side. Start a business on the side. Just kind of put your feet in the water. Feel what's going on out there. Get your in and start your business on the side. So you're doing this for them, but you're also doing this for you because you're learning skills while you're there. Look at your 3D job like that it's a college. You're being paid to go to college. And then you take those skills that you learned there and you apply that to your own personal business. Because we can't work for people for long. We cannot. I know some of us have to. And my heart goes out to you. Keep doing what you have to do. But I'm giving you some pointers on how to get through it until you can start your own business. Yeah. Let's be honest, starting your own business is not an easy thing. Money doesn't just start pouring in right away. You have to build your clientele. You have to learn, you have to make mistakes. You have to go through all these things, but eventually you get it. Yeah. And so starting your own business is always good. Having it on the side with your 3D job. This is also a great tax write-off. And so money comes to you at the end of the year because the supplies that you buy, all that stuff. Yeah. We'll talk about spiritual businesses and tax write-offs and things of that sort in another video. So sometimes these jobs are divine interventions. They are teaching you, or sometimes these jobs have divine interventions. Not only are they teaching you these skills, but Spirit knows when it's time for you to move on. You'll quit or you'll get fired. You don't look at it as a failure. You look at it as a divine intervention. Yeah. So you're learning all these skills. You're learning these things in this 3D job. You are not going to be happy there. People are not going to treat you nicely. You have to use emotional intelligence. I feel like a hypocrite saying that because I've given it to them a few times. You're gonna get this magic messing with me. But anyways, you have to use emotional intelligence to keep your job, and also to learn the people skills and the patience and the boundaries and the resilience and all those things, because all those things are good skills, emotional intelligence, to prepare you to open your own business and work for yourself and be your own boss. As the chosen, you ultimately are going to have to be your own boss, because we cannot. We just can't. It just doesn't work. Yeah. But in the meantime, I wish you the best on your 3D job. Try to stay focused and try to keep from getting fired or quitting too soon. Stay focused and do your best until you can get your own business started. But I would start my own business starting time now. Start a Facebook page, start an IG page, get your name. Make sure your name is not taken by anybody else. Make sure you find out the rules and regulations within your state based on the name of your business, because you don't want to go setting up pages and all this stuff, setting up websites with a name that's already taken, and then you get copyright infringements or whatever. So you want to make sure that you have a name that's specific to you that no one else has, because each state does have laws based on the name of your business. We'll make a video on how to start your own business, how to start your own spiritual business here soon. Yeah. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and spiritual journey. If you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. Leave a message, leave a comment of some sort, a heart, drop something so that I can get into the algorithm a little more. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you for being here. We appreciate our subscribers. And if you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time here on Closing the Gap. See you later.